Hello, I'm MCToon. It has come to my attention that during a recent debate that I hosted, that there was somebody being coached, apparently, during the debate from somebody in the same room as the debater that I was hosting. I was kind of aware of it at the time, but it has been called out by Quantum Eraser, or QE. Now, QE is a science denier that has invented his own form of science denialism that he ironically calls science. It's just denialism, and he calls it science. It's crazy. It'll give you a headache to think about it. Don't bother. But I'm gonna play a large portion of his show where he exposes this person who is getting coached. Stick with it. It's not that long, and I've cut out a few sections that were too long. I'll give you the link to it in the description. You can listen to the whole thing there if you want. But here we go. QE.
The debate, it was on MCToon's channel. That numpty dip between a guy I never seen before. It looks like, I think his name is Septic Dank or something like that. I don't know who he's. Septic Skank. We'll just call him Skank. And Witsit Gets It. And he sent it to me. He goes, hey, there might be some numpty clips in here. So I reviewed it, and I did hear some voices in the background during the debate, but it was such a show that it was hard to discern between those. But one of our own also listened to this debate, and he's got a sharp ear for skank whisperers. And he pulled them out. So we have a clear case of fraud again with the ball tarts. You guys just can't help yourself. So we got a gentleman, Skankbeard, getting fed information on a debate against Witsit. So I don't know how you're going to recover from this. We are going to go ahead and play it. So, like I said, let me play this. I'll play through it once. Then we'll come back. I'll play through it again. It's real short. Pay attention. Here we go.
Okay, so do you know what plane survey data is?
Are you talking about like surveyors?
The 250 miles.
Okay, go on with what.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
We'll keep it simple for you. What's the square root of 1?
1.
Okay, so what's 1 times 1.225?
1.225.
Okay, so if we're 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, where should we see the geometric horizon?
Let's see.
1.225 miles.
You're talking.
Yeah, we're talking fraud. Did you guys hear that? We're going to go back through it again, and I'm going to stop at the critical points.
Okay, so do you know what plane survey data is?
Are you talking about like surveyors?
The 250 miles.
You hear that? In the background, you hear up to 250 miles. Hold on a second, please. Thank you. Up to 250 miles you heard in the background, right? I don't know, guys. You two bozos right here. That's not that's the least of your issues. The second one is more deadly.
Okay, go on with what.
Yeah. We'll keep it simple for you. What's the square root of 1?
1.
Okay, so what's 1 times 1.225?
1.225.
Okay, so if we're 1 foot off the surface of the Earth, where should we see the geometric horizon?
Let's see.
1.225 miles.
1.225 miles away. That's what you hear in the background. This guy, if you ask him what 3 plus 2 was, he'd have to wait for the guy in the background to tell him. Hey, Skankbeard, you just been busted. You're a fraud. You're finished. And you, MCToon, you numpty dip of epic proportions, with a science acumen hovering right around preschool and the basic reasoning skills of a turnip squash, you're done too. I don't know how you're going to get out of this. You could say, oh, I didn't know what was happening. You're finished. Both of you boneheads, right? Fraud. Fraud. You're busted again. Skank whispering. Oh, I'll tell you what. You friggin'. Oh, man. Yeah, you're busted. Both of you bozos are busted again. And I'll tell you what, Baltards, you better be calling these guys out. People are watching. This is abominations of the earth stuff here, brother. Mr. Beard Skank. What an embarrassment. You couldn't even tell Austin the answer over that simple question after he walked you through it? You had to get somebody else telling you what it was, where the geometric horizon was at 1 foot? That's bad enough, right? But you had to have somebody in the background telling you where you looking to. And tell me you weren't involved with this. You're done. You're guilty by association. You're finished, right? I better be hearing. I'm going to stay on this. I'm going to drop anchor on this one, right? Because this is patently obvious. You're finished. Baltards better be calling you out. We know they won't, though, right? You numpty dip are all on the line together. Unbelievable. The friggin' hubris, the gall of you knuckle dragon, mouth breathing window lickers. The gall. You're busted. This gut contempt isn't even in the galactic vicinity of this little reindeer game. I'd like to know who was the skank whisperer, though. I'd like to know that. Who's your skank whisperers?
Well, pretty strong words from QE there. He's going to press this one a lot, it seems. Whoever was getting coached, QE is going to hold the task on this one. So I pulled up the same video and I listened around and found some different parts that had some talking in the background as well. And I boosted the audio so that you can hear it. Here's a little piece. You don't hear a whole lot of the words, but you get a little clip of some different sounds.
And let's say the bottom half of it is obscured. You can calculate that amount that's missing, but you're also going, you're going to have to.
So there's two parts you heard in there. The first one, it was undiscernible. The second one, the word physical came out. Now, I don't know exactly how that pertains to anything, but it's pretty clear that he said physical. Whoever it was that was doing the coaching. Now, this part here, this tells a little more about what was going on.
But anyway, at the
Can you
surface,
support that?
Support what?
Look up the borehole.
Yeah, look up the borehole.
Now, on this one, we heard the words, look up the borehole, and then the person getting coached mentioned the borehole. This one's pretty clear because the person coaching said it, and then the one getting coached said it immediately after. And if you look at his eyes, you can see he looks up past the monitor and makes contact with his coach. I'll play it again.
But anyway, at the
Can you
surface,
support that?
Support what?
Look up the borehole.
Yeah, look up the borehole.
All right, so I found this one where the person getting coached is supposed to be listening to his interlocutor present some evidence and make a case, but instead he's having a conversation with his coach. Yeah, super. You're supposed to be listening to the other guy so you can respond to it. But I suppose if you never really actually intend to respond, instead to just talk over and try to steamroll, it probably makes sense then in that case. Then you can see in the mirror behind the one getting coached, the coach is walking around and you can actually see him in the mirror here. And so, I mean, we know what he kind of looks like already here. But so then the one getting coached later in this part actually mentions his coach during the debate. Watch this.
I know many of them in real life.
No, they definitely do.
No, they literally do not. I know many. I know numerous engineers, one sitting right here.
Yeah, that's right. He actually mentions that he has him in the room with him, and you could hear him coaching a little bit just before that. So later in the debate, the one getting coached, his internet dropped out. So while his internet has dropped out, just to fill some time, I asked the other guy, who do you think is coaching him? And we didn't really know at the time.
So who do you think is coaching him? Who's the engineer that's with him?
I don't know.
Or the plane surveyor, the many plane surveyors that he's talked to.
So as the debate went on and the coaching continued, I started to try to guess who it was. And in the chat was Globe Busters, which we all know is Bob Nodell. Now, well, maybe we don't all know Bob Nodell. Well, here's a reminder in case you don't know who Bob Nodell is.
But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. So I was suspicious that Austin was getting coached by Bob Nodell because on this tour, Austin has met with Bob Nodell. So maybe I figured they were in the same place at the time, but I was wrong about that. So sorry, I was wrong that it was Bob Nodell, but I did do my job as a moderator and called out that he was getting coached. Have a look.
Hey, Bob, when did you measure zero rotation?
Why are you talking to someone else that's not in the debate?
Bob, no, he's been coaching you the whole time. Bob,
I haven't even had to read anything. He's been coaching me. What a
We've heard him. We've heard him in the background. We've heard him talking.
Dude, that's not Bob. You're an idiot.
Oh, it's not Bob. Oh, who is it?
I'm not Bob, moron.
What's up?
Oh, he's a moron. Okay.
Wow. I'm a civil engineer, asshole.
Oh, he's the not geodetic surveyor. Got it.
Well, there it is. Pretty clear. Austin Witsit was getting coached by not a geodetic surveyor. Don't know who he was. Maybe, don't know. Don't care. Definitely getting coached. Admitted it. The guy went on camera. So yeah. All right. Well, tough times, but QE has some words for you now, Austin, and not geodetic surveyor. So I'll leave you guys alone for just a little bit, and you can just have a little moment.
You people are all frauds. You're frauds. You're liars. Right? You're just playing a game out here. Of course, you're getting busted daily. Make sure you're checking the numpty clips, folks. Right? Because it's expose time. Fraud. You're busted again. That we're dealing with numpty Dunning-Kruger dips of epic proportions. Make sure you catch them, right? I better be hearing. I'm going to stay on this. I'm going to drop anchor on this one. You better be calling these guys out. You just been busted. You're a fraud. You're finished. So I don't know how you're going to recover from this.
Well, there it is. Some pretty harsh words from QE for Austin and the not geodetic surveyor. So I'm sure that that QE is going to probably want to contact you directly, Austin, because he said he was going to drop anchor on this one. So you're in trouble. Whew. Anyway, that probably means that there will be some big changes in the other parts of the debate community on their side, because this must be a super huge issue for them. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal, but for them, it definitely is. So I'm sure QE will also be calling out the entire Nathan Oakley Flat Earth debate team, because there's a ton of coaching that happens in their fake debates as well. So whatever, that's their mess. I guess they're going to have to deal with, not ours, not mine. So anyway, one more time, Austin, just so you know, this is what QE has to say to you.
This gut contempt isn't even in the galactic vicinity of this little reindeer game. This is abominations of the earth stuff here, brother. So I don't know how you're going to recover from this.